Thank you very much, Mr. Kong. We're going to get into our next session directly with the last session for the day on morality and virtues in today's context. We'd like to invite Venerable Wu Ping from Pure Land Learning College to deliver the next session. Let us put our hands together to welcome Venerable Wu.
Bonjour, good afternoon. 大家下午好，阿弥陀佛。Today I'm going to share with you actually a short video clip about what we're doing in Toowoomba about the spirituality, morality seminar. So actually we start this program since 2014 December, and we start with the Chinese moral and virtue seminar. Then the next year 2015, March of 2015, we start the English program. So to run this program under the guidance of our President, Venerable Master Jin Kong's guidance, and that we based on the belief that all people are innately good, and negative actions are due to negative habits that accumulated in previous lives and early on this lifetime. Negative habits can definitely be discarded because they do not belong to in our innate nature. So the most important in this morning and this afternoon, we talked about how to have a harmonious human relationships, to have a harmonious relationships between parents and children, harmony between husband and wife, harmony between siblings and between friends, and between leader and subordinate. And most important, the relationship, there are love between parents and children. There are love between husband and wife. There are love between the sibling, love between friends, and leader and subordinate. The question is how to let this love and harmony last forever. So we find in the morning and through the teaching of Master, we find the answer from the education, from the teaching. Especially we need to find the answer from the ancient sage and saint. Especially, traditional Chinese culture based on the Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism. And all these philosophies have lasted for 5,000 years. And for all generation, past generation, and prove that this philosophy can keep the harmony and love between human beings. And we can seek the answer, the teaching, from the ancient sage and saint, and from all the religion and all the faith. This answer we can find from those sacred texts. How to keep the love between parents and children, husband and wife, sibling, friends, leader and subordinate. We all can find out from those teachings and based on this understanding and belief. And also from my belief that the Buddha told us all human beings or all sentient beings have Buddha nature. And through this understanding, we all can become a better person. And we all can go back to our innate good quality. And we can find the answer, like I emphasized, from the teaching of sacred texts, from the teaching of sage and saint of ancient time. So based on this, we run this program. And that, the most important, the education actually starts very the beginning when we are the fetus, stay in our mother's womb. the babies start to learn. And most critical point, the period that is before 3 years. And there is the ancient Chinese saying that the observing the behavior of 3 years old baby can reveal what they will be when they are 80 years old. And from the observing the 7 years old child, then you can reveal what they're going to be for their entire life. So that means this is a critical period for education for children that is start from the very beginning of the life, a fetus, then the 3 years old, and we should not let television or the digital technology to educate our children. Actually, the children, when they stay in the mother's fetus womb, they start to learn and feel. When they are born, they start to listen and observe. They start to learn. So we have to be careful of our every speech and behavior. The baby are learning. So we call this, the prenatal education, and the education, first 1,000-day education, and which is a very critical moment. That is a very important period to shape a people's character. So what kind of education we're going to teach them? And this is a very critical moment, and this critical moment can teach the children to love their parents, love all people for their entire life. So we got to uphold the very important period. And so here, I'm not going to talk long. I'm going to share with you the short video clip of what we are doing, and mainly we'll focus on the English program. But some of the video will have a Chinese subtitle. And so if the English part, and I hope there is a translation for the people who don't understand English. Thank you.
Such a feeling's coming over me. There is wonder in most everything I see. Not a cloud in the sky, got the sun in my eyes, and I won't be surprised if it's a dream. Everything I want the world to be is now coming true, especially for me. It's clear, it's because you are here. You're the nearest thing to heaven that I've seen. I'm on the top of the world, looking down on creation, and the only explanation I can find is the love that I've found ever since you've been around. Your love's put me at the top of the world. Something in the wind has learned my name, and it's telling me that things are not the same. In the leaves on the trees and the touch of the breeze, there's a pleasing sense of happiness for me. There is only one wish on my mind. When this day is through, I hope that I will find that tomorrow will be just the same for you and me. All I need will be mine if you are here. I'm on the top of the world, looking down on creation, and the only explanation I can find is the love that I've found ever since you've been around. Your love's put me at the top of the world. I'm on the top of the world, looking you've been around. Your love's put me at the top of the world.
If you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea, I'll sail the world to find you. If you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. Find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh, ooh, yeah. If you're tossing and you're turning and you just can't fall asleep, I'll sing a song beside you. And if you ever forget how much you really mean to me, every day I will remind you. Oh, find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh, ooh, yeah, yeah. You'll always have my shoulder when you cry. I'll never let go, never say goodbye. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah.
Let us pray for peace in our land. Keep our hearts from sorrows and pain. Bless us all with joy and hope. Love and care for each one in this world. Let us pray for peace in our land. keep our hearts from sorrows and pain. Bless us all with joy and hope, love and care for each one in this world.
同情心属于仁，羞耻心属于义，恭敬心属于礼，明辨是非的心属于智。这个仁、义、礼、智不是外境给予我们的，而是我们本来就具有的。除此之外，中国圣人孔子说：“人而无信，不知其可也。”意思是人一定要遵从诚信才行。所以中国人将仁、义、礼、智、信列为五常，这五种德五常就是做人恒常不变的五项行为准则。具备这五种德行，才合乎做人的标准。这五常也是人之初性本善的内容，是每个人自性本有的德行。在全世界各民族的传统文化当中，同样都具备相当于仁义礼智信的德行，可见这些是人一性共有的。如果世人都能奉行仁义礼智信这五种恒常的德行，社会自然安定祥和，世界自然恢复和平。这也是我们净宗学院从今年开始每个月定期举办道德讲堂的初衷。这些伦理道德对于今日社会实在太重要了，值得我们积极去学习去倡导。榜样的力量是无限的，从我们自身开始落实，自然就会影响与带动周遭的人民。希望借助建立共同的仁爱价值观，让我们的土文化越来越好，让我们的国家越来越好，乃至让我们的世界越来越好。
Why are we not rich?
Who says we are not rich? Being rich is not about how much you have, but how much you give. And somehow, when you give, you'll be happier.
I could almost hear him say,
Being rich is not about how much you have, but how much you can give.
Mr. Emoto became terribly interested in the molecular structure of water and what affects it. Now, water is the most receptive of the four elements. Mr. Emoto thought perhaps it would respond to non-physical events. So he set up a series of studies, applied mental stimuli, and photographed it with a dark field microscope. This first picture is a picture of water from the Fujiwara Dam. And this picture is the same water after receiving a blessing from a Zen Buddhist monk. Now, in this next series of pictures, Mr. Emoto printed out words, taped them to bottles of distilled water, and left them out overnight. This first photograph is a picture of the pure distilled water, just the essence of itself. These subsequent photographs, as you can see, are each different. This is the chi of love. And we move along here to thank you. And you can see where he taped that to this bottle here. But if you read Japanese, you already knew that. Now, Mr. Emoto speaks of the thought or intent being the driving force in all of this. The science of how that actually affects the molecules is unknown, except to the water molecules, of course. And it's really fascinating when you keep in mind that 90% of our bodies are water.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it? If thoughts can do that to water, imagine what our thoughts can do to us.
I got so much help from all over everyone. The community, the whole community, so make you feel so warm. So when you need help, they give you wholeheartedly help, and I just cannot describe how much help I got from everybody. I told one of the Venerable yesterday that the help I got is less than 2 months here, more than my whole entire life that I got it from other places. So I really, really feel gratitude for having this wonderful place. People, especially young girls here, I don't want you guys to make the same mistakes as me. I had before learned Buddhism because of the ignorance. I have few times abortions. And that abortion experience bring me my life miserable. That my health deteriorated so much, so fast. My family constantly having quarrel. And I feel so sorry for my son. I did not bring a home for him. I create a war zone for him. The abortion I did not only create the suffering, for the people who I love so much, for the people who I can see, I can feel, but also for the aborted kids. So I would like to show my repent and say sorry to them, including sorry to my husband and my son. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you and thank you.
Over the past few days, I have learned much about the heart, spirit, and the mind. The power of our thoughts impacts this world immensely. We will need courage and perseverance to change ourselves from a downward spiral and in turn save our home and other people. We must never give up and continue to learn about compassion, morality, and virtues. Through our kindness and pure thoughts, we must not commit any more bad deeds. When you drink from a stream, remember its source. I would like to thank all of my wonderful teachers and all the volunteers and fellow students of the Pure Land College for all the love and patience they have showed me over my stay.
That love is very important, and our parents are always supporting us, even if we don't see it. My mother has been there for me all my life, even if she left me when I was 6 months old and came back when I was 4. And usually at home, I don't do any work because I'm slow at reacting. And my mom just always takes the work from me, and so does my dad. And coming here, I learned how to make dumplings and do a bunch of stuff that I never did at home, and I'm really grateful for that. And I want to say thank you to my mom.
So the lesson that I think I learned the most is the one about family. Like the wife, she needs to feel like she is being loved, and the husband needs to feel like being respected. I see my parents, when I was younger, there's a lot of problems, and I don't blame my parents or anything. I'm very thankful because they stayed together, and they told me before if they didn't have me, then probably they wouldn't stay together. So I appreciate them staying together so that I don't have to have a broken family. And I think everyone that wants to get married should watch that segment because it will help you understand your partner. And I think basically the man, he needs to recognize that the woman wants to communicate and fix the problem. Otherwise, she will feel like he doesn't care about the relationship. And the woman needs to recognize that the man will feel disrespected if she's like asking too much or like not, it's very hard to find the balance, but basically the woman needs to make sure to show the respect, and then the man needs to make sure to try to work the problem out so that the relationship can stay together. So hopefully, I don't know if I will get married maybe like in the next 10 years or anything. Probably not for at least 5 years. And even if I get married, I don't know if I would have kids, but I think seeing this, it helped me a lot with how to fix, like how to have a good relationship and how to set a good example for the kids. So that's the biggest thing I learned.
Also, filial piety, obviously I learned it very young because I was in a house of elderly people and I needed to do a lot of jobs as they progressively got older and more unwell. But I don't necessarily feel like my daughter, she was 17 when we lived in the same house, and she was 19 since we've lived in the same town. So it was 1990 since we've lived in the same house, and 92. She was paving out a career. I just was on the phone to my granddaughter earlier. We don't always get it from that direct descendant. My daughter, I'm not saying she's not giving and generous, but sometimes they're in the process of paving their career. But it will always come back to us, though, if we don't have an expectation for it to come back to us when we're caring for children.
我要在此特别的感恩我的父亲这么辛劳，来支撑这个家，来养育我。父亲，您的恩这几年来辛苦您了，我对不起你，阿弥陀佛。然后，妈妈，今天你在，我要在此感恩你的养育之恩。我弘扬今世，真的是完全报不了你的恩情，感恩您，妈妈。
讲白了就是全身都是充满自私自利，我从来不懂得父母他们有多么的辛劳，有多么的辛苦，所以我感到其实非常的忏悔。那我这辈子也从来没有向我的父亲磕头认错过，因为我真的太爱面子了。何况是我父亲一个人，我都做不出来。所以今天我想借此这个机会，消除我心中的一些傲慢，还有放掉我的面子，然后向我的父亲磕头认错。
好，谢谢。
这就是我们为什么要学习传统文化。学习传统文化，个人身心健康，家庭幸福，社会祥和，国家兴旺，天下太平。要不要？如果答案说是我们要，那就认真好好的来学习。今天时间到了，我们就休息了。